Hello, everybody, and you're very welcome today. Thank you so much for joining us. We are delighted to have Dr. John Dooley with us from our Department of Electronic Engineering, and he is going to give you a little short presentation, and then he'll be available for any questions. Should be able to see the little Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen there. So if you submit your questions, queries, comments to us, we'll go through them after the presentation. It is being recorded, and we will share it with you afterwards, and you will be able to contact either of us after the webinar too if you have questions that you don't give to us right now during the webinar. So I'll hand over to John, and we will take your questions after the presentation.
Perfect. Thanks a million. So I'll start to share now. Okay. So, okay, can you see that?
Yes, yeah, John, thanks, we can.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no, thanks a million. So welcome everybody. My name's Dr. John Dooley. I'm in the Department of Electronic Engineering. And just to say that this course has been formulated over a couple of years now at this stage. So as I'll go through in a few moments, there's a really exciting opportunity right now in the field of electronic engineering and especially in semiconductor design. Ultimately, the semiconductor industry needs more graduates. Within Ireland, we have a very, very strong semiconductor industry. There's numerous reports across the UK and Ireland. So in particular, Ireland, Silicon Island, it's Ireland's national semiconductor strategy was published in May 2025. And as I said, even before that May 2025, it was very obvious that we really need to ramp up the number of graduates that we have in semiconductors in Ireland. We went out to a number of companies. So we've gone across the board to various different types of semiconductor companies at all aspects of the supply chain. And we've basically identified a unique offering for Maynooth. The summary of the challenge was that there was a mismatch between what the university curriculum is offering now and what the industry needs, and especially into the future. There's a very low visibility of semiconductor careers among students, and that was something that we really wanted to help with this program, because we're now looking to provide paid internships along with the master's program. I'll go through the application process in a moment, but this was, I guess, the key differentiator, because the industry really values the hands-on experience. In Maynooth, we have developed a problem-based learning program for undergraduate students, and it's now been incorporated into the Masters for Robotics and Embedded AI. And we've been doing this for more than 10 years. And we know that the employers in Ireland love our graduates, because every semester now, our students are doing a problem-based learning exercise. So within a team of students, they have to solve an open-ended problem. And that's exactly what industry needs its employees to do. So if you want to start your own company afterwards, that's exactly what you also have to do. You're given an open problem. There's an infinite number of possible solutions. You have to try and really narrow down exactly what are the best ones, and be very fast to market. And there was also identified an insufficient vocational and apprenticeship pathways. There are a number of internships offered, but even talking to companies, I've heard cases where students have done an internship in a semiconductor company, and they've gone back for their final year, and then they end up working in a bank after they graduate. So really what we're trying to do is get students who want to work in the semiconductor industry, pair them or match them with the companies that want to hire them. We're going to train them up so that they'll be starting off at a better starting point than any other graduate today. There's also a gender imbalance and an aging workforce. So we would like to try to address that in as much as possible. The aging workforce in Ireland is basically just, I guess, heightening the need for graduates. And in short, the Midas Ireland had identified the need to grow the jobs from 20,000 currently employed in the sector to 34,500. This program right now is offering 25 positions in the first year. So we're not going to make or meet that total demand, but that total demand exists. So what it means is that the few that we are graduating, I believe, are going to find it very easy to have a very successful career afterwards. So our mission statement is to graduate the next generation of semiconductor innovators through advanced education, the latest software, and strategic industry collaboration to drive technological leadership and sustainable growth for Ireland and Europe. There's a lot of nuances in there, but what I can say is the advanced education, we've identified the key pillars. We know exactly what industry wants and what industry is going to need for the next 10 years from our graduates. And that's what we're starting to deliver now. That's IC design competency. So there's analog IC design, digital IC design. The verification, that's to test that those chips that you've designed actually work correctly, which is hugely important. Just to say that I believe probably the most immediate need for a lot of companies here is really high skilled verification people, because with the dawn of a whole new era with artificial intelligence and machine learning, um, how do we apply machine learning techniques to analog, digital, and verification for IC design? And then also, how do we do IC design for analog and artificial intelligence and machine learning chips that are going to work on the network edge, that require really low power consumption, or that have to go into the data centers where we want extremely high compute power. And as I mentioned earlier, the problem-based learning, which we have honed over 10 years in Maynooth, for more than 10 years, we know that that works extremely well. We will basically prepare the best graduates from the third level sector in Ireland on teamwork and innovation, coupled with all of the fundamental skills with IC design and artificial intelligence and machine learning, to deliver for the companies that we've lined up for the internships. So maybe just to explain the process, on the left-hand side, we can see the student. Now, ultimately, what we are trying to do is we're trying to match the student with a company. So when the student applies to Maynooth University, that goes to the admissions office. The admissions office will take the application form, a CV, statement of purpose, which is really the motivation for the student in terms of choosing this as a career path. And we would like to get videos of answers. Ultimately, within the admissions office, they do a cursory vetting on some key requirements. And the engineering department, then what we do is we review the applications for the statement of purpose, the English proficiency, minimum grade requirements, and also look at the videos for the answers to the questions. All applicants are then provided to our partner companies. So the partner companies then will call the ones that they want to call for interview. We cannot guarantee that a company will call you for interview, but in terms of the students applying, once they provide their exam results, past experience, and their motivation for doing the course, we're hoping when the companies interview them, we have successful applicants, they get offered internships by the companies, and then those companies then send us back a ranked list. In the same way as a student would apply to all of those companies for an internship, what we do is then we go back to the student, and the student is told how many companies that they've got an offer from. They choose who they're going to be an intern with, and they're accepted on our program. So once you're accepted by the company, we can accept you on the program, and that guarantees then that you've got a paid internship. For the first year, we're working with the admissions office now to allow it that if somebody isn't offered the internship, but we believe that they're a very strong candidate, we're looking to then take them or accept them onto the program. And there would be the opportunity later on that there are other companies now who are actually interested to hire interns from our program. So what I would say is that, I know that this course is going to be oversubscribed in the coming years. This is our first year running the course. This is the best opportunity to get onto this program. It's a paid internship, so there's a 6-month paid internship. The application portal closes. What we were hoping to do is to uh, gate it at the first of every month so that we could progressively go through all of the applicants in blocks and not leave everybody to one block at the end. So we'll progress through applicants as they come in, and it just means that we get you turned around as quickly as possible. We'll continue until all internship posts are filled. So right now we have 5 companies who have committed to 5 paid internships. We cannot guarantee that those companies will still exist in a year's time, but they all are very large companies. So just to say, the companies that we've initially listed are Analog Devices, AMD, so Advanced Micro Devices, Cadence, Infineon, and Intel. Major multinational companies. Um, we have graduates in every single one of those from our program already. Not the master's program, but from the undergraduate program. I'm envious of graduates from this program. I worked temporarily in Analog Devices and in Philips Semiconductors, which became NXP in the Netherlands. And back then, it was a really exciting time to be working in a semiconductor company. Now again, I'm starting to see that enthusiasm in all of the people that I meet in the sector. There's regular meetings for the semiconductor industry in Ireland, hosted by Midas, where academics and industry people get to meet and mingle and chat. And just to say, over the past months, with the EU Chips Act, within Ireland, the hundreds of millions that are being invested in semiconductors in Ireland right now, it's a really, really exciting time. That's why I'm envious. I know that this program is going to prepare students extremely well. We've got analog IC design, digital IC design, and verification for IC design. These skill sets are never going to change. This is the fundamentals for IC design. This is what you have to know. With artificial intelligence and machine learning, we're going to do the first semester where we're explaining all of the AI and ML techniques. This is what a lot of people within the industry don't currently have, is the grounding in that. They're expert at maybe one or two of those domains above, analog, digital, or verification, and now they're learning it for themselves. So it's an ideal opportunity for us to start to prepare graduates that they have all 4 of these available to them, or knowledge in all 4 of these areas, before they leave college, before they start their career with their industry partner. What we're going to do in the second semester is again reinforcing analog, digital, and verification for IC design, but also we're going to look at embedded processing. So what's a processor architecture to actually compute an AI or ML technique on the edge? So we're looking at, what's the overall architecture? What are the main fundamental building blocks? And as I said, every semester now in our undergraduate program, we do problem-based learning. So we have PBL1 and PBL2 there. What that is going to do is it's going to group students in teams exactly as you're going to be in industry. We're going to have industry relevant objectives, and with PBL, it's ultimately going to hone your soft skills, communication techniques, in terms of report writing, which is ultimately what you would have to do with maybe a data sheet for a new product. We also like to look at things like sustainable development goals. How are chips in the future going to actually address some of these sustainable development goals? How do you link a real world application to the chip? Because as a somebody at a meeting yesterday was explaining, they work in one of the top semiconductor companies in the world. Their chip is in every single high-end Samsung phone, but you have to break open the phone to actually see it. But they can point to the phone and they can say, well, we designed in Ireland that chip that's in that mobile device, that high-end mobile device. So it's very difficult to translate the complex engineering aspects to the real world. And these are the types of skills that are extremely important, because when you go to industry and you have to justify a business decision, you have to be able to communicate it to senior managers who don't have the same technical competence as you will, working for a number of years within a semiconductor company. You'll also probably have to hopefully in the future become senior managers and have to explain business decisions or technical decisions to shareholders, you know? So as I mentioned there, those five companies, they all have offices in Ireland. So it just means then that the 6 month paid internship for those who are successful in achieving an internship offer, they work within the industry partner for a period of 6 months. And what we will do is we will pair them with a mentor within industry. You'll have a mentor in the university so that the academic aspects are adhered to, but it means that you're going to be embedded in the industry partner for 6 months. This is the ideal opportunity. This is basically your interview with the company. The companies in Ireland need to hire graduates. So if you do a great job, if you do if you do well in your exams in the first and second semester, I'm pretty sure that you're going to get a job in that company. But I can't guarantee anything. But this is the best opportunity that I can offer to a prospective graduate or prospective student to getting them and launching them into a very successful career in the semiconductor industry in Ireland. Just to say that for the many PhD students that I've supervised, I suppose there's two immediate things that I always tell them. Number one is I always try to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes that I made. And not that it was a mistake, I'm very happy with my life right now, but I worked in the semiconductor industry and I do kind of wonder, if I had stayed on in there, because right now, this whole area is going to take off again in the same way as it did 20 years ago. Um, the second major thing is that with the paid internships, you basically start, or with the PhD students, what I always want them to do is there's a bare minimum that you can do to start off with a salary, but it's actually achieving the starting salary up here because by and large, you're going to go up at the same rate anyway. So it's better to start off at a higher point than at a lower point. And having this experience from this program, you're going to be gold dust. It's, I know the people that are going to be teaching on this course, they're not public yet, but I'm really excited to start working with these guys. Maynooth is a smaller university, yes, but the benefit of being a smaller university is we can actually pick and choose who we get to teach on the program. We've picked the best people. We've picked people who have already delivered courses to industry and content to industry. We know that we've got the best content because we're getting it from industry for a large extent. So the content that's going to be delivered, industry is currently hiring graduates now and paying for those graduates to go back and learn the course content that we're going to be delivering from the outset. So suppose in summary there, we're going to advertise and receive applications. The shortlisting and interviews are going to be done in partnership with industry. You're going to be vetted by industry. So the CVs, everything's on point. And ultimately, once you get that internship, we can accept you on the program. You're going to be paired with an academic and an industry supervisor. In terms of within the companies, there's a 6 month internship with industry. So if you're coming from, if you're an international student coming from abroad, the benefit of this program is that what we're working with the university to do is to be able to confirm passing of the course. So your taught modules will be finished in semester 1 and semester 2, 6 month paid internship. We want to minimize that gap between you finishing your program of study and getting into the company. So after you've successfully completed the master's program, you can qualify for a 2-year work visa in Ireland. So what that basically means is that we're shortcutting you straight into a company. We're launching you into that company, into a career with some of the top people that I know of earning $250,000 a year. You have to be very, very, very good. But I believe we're going to give you the best foundation to probably achieve that from any program that I've seen yet. The additional modules provide an introduction to machine learning and a practical guide on how this can map to chip design. There's no point in using machine learning if you don't know AI, analog and digital IC design and verification. If you don't know the fundamentals, you can apply machine learning as a black box solution to it, but the question is always lingering, when will it fail? Are the guesses that the AI and machine learning have statistically made, are they actually going to hold true forever? So we're teaching you the fundamentals. And so the industry standard design software used during the program, we're basically going to be providing access to the Cadence tool suite. So students will be leaving us knowing how to do IC design, but not only that, they will know how to use Cadence. The point of that is, as I said, starting off at a higher value for a company. We've now saved the company months of effort trying to get you to, by osmosis, learn how to use Cadence. And I know because I've gone in as an intern. I've worked in a company, in semiconductor companies. You're given a desk, you're given a PC or a workstation, you're given access to data sets of previous schematics and designs. You're given a mentor, and you have to feel around for yourself, figure out how to use the software. We're going to train you to do that. That's saving the company months of effort, and every month of effort that they have to pay you for, it costs them money. So we're going to short track that, and you're going to be a higher value student or graduate for them when you leave us. Just to round off, because it is a hard sell, because I've never been as excited about my job as I am now. So analog circuit design challenges, artificial intelligence and machine learning. As I said, our program is going to show you what are the tools for AI and ML to do circuit design, and how do you do circuit design to compute AI and ML. Data centers, robotics, defense, self-driving vehicles, you name it. Analog electronic circuits are going to be at the center of all of those. Why is that important? The future of computer science is also electronic engineering. So we know how to code really well, and now we've just got a whole generative AI generation now that's going to be doing lots and lots of coding for us. But the key differentiating factor for countries, for large corporations in the future, is going to be the semiconductors at the heart of what they're producing. I'd like to just mention, because a colleague had mentioned it, it was just the president CEO of Cadence Design Systems was at the world leading conference for semiconductor design, which is ISSCC, and did a plenary. So powering the AI supercycle. So design for AI, so that's designing chips for AI, and AI for chip design is how I'd summarize that title. 45% of the Cadence business is to hyperscalers. So if you're learning those tools, if you're learning those techniques, the hyperscalers are Google, Amazon, Meta, there's and a few more that haven't even started yet. Those hyperscalers are very interested in your skill sets or your future skill sets if you choose to do the semiconductor masters with us. The silicon market will be worth probably 1 trillion by 2027. And then electronic systems overall will be worth more than 5 trillion by 2030. So it's going to be a very lucrative couple of years for people in the industry. Right now, they're undersubscribed. And if you come with us, we're going to launch you into a very good career. And one that I think for the most part, for all of the industry peers that I've met, they're not worried about their job or AI taking their job, because it's a specialist skill set, and I know it's going to be future proofed. So I probably might just stop it there, and I gladly take any questions.
That was great, John. Thank you so much. I must say your excitement and enthusiasm is contagious.
Yeah, no,
Really.
I just
No.
it's been funny the way that I guess global economics has gone. But the last time that I had seen this excitement in the industry was, flat screen TVs, PCs changing color, and then laptops becoming more and more popular. And everything there, like mobile devices, mobile communications, it's kind of plateaued a bit.
Mhm.
But now there's this whole sort of realization that there's there's actually a new generation emerging, um, and the all of this, the best solutions are still up for grabs.
Yeah,
So
no, and I think it's wonderful that Maynooth obviously at the moment is leading the way in that area in semiconductors, and that we've used, as you said, we're a small university, but we have perhaps because of our smallness, we can develop these kind of small, close, almost personal relationships with people in industry, and in turn we use that to build and develop these new programs that reply directly to the market demands and the workplace demands. And we're clearly offering students a fantastic opportunity here with this program to uh, make a career in that area. We're giving them the open door where we're not guaranteeing anything nobody can, but we're giving them the best opportunities possible for
yeah,
them to use the training and the knowledge that will be obviously of benefit to them and also the companies. They will be mad for our graduates with the first bunch graduate from this program, and it's
yeah.
great thing to look forward to. Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, it's a funny one that yeah, it's just extremely exciting now. I see it from the outside. So my PhD students that have gone pretty much the last eight, I've graduates who've gone to Qualcomm, Ericsson, Analog Devices, and just getting them back to talk about their careers now, what they're currently working on. Um, it's yeah, it's there's yeah, but basically we're future proofing a career for people, and I can't underemphasize this because the amount of miles that we've traveled, not just myself, but a couple of other colleagues that have been extremely instrumental. Joe Moore in Maynooth Works. So Joe would have started his own companies in the past. He's like he'd worked in the industry, not just semiconductors, but in a number of industries. Um, but he had helped us to hone this, to target it for industry. We basically went out, we met Midas, we talked to people in MCCI, the Microelectronics Competence Centre in Ireland. Um, we talked to numerous companies, so even companies that aren't currently offering internships on the program, but I know that they'll be thereabouts in future years. So our
Yeah.
intention is to grow the program
Hmm.
because there's this insatiable appetite now to hire graduates, and with the PBL, we'll get people acclimatized to the workplace in Ireland and the dynamics. And I suppose one of the things with PBL, just to explain, the true value for it is things like conflict resolution. When you go into a team of 5 or 6 people, not everybody does the same amount of work, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
And it's funny, one of the best lessons to learn at that is you just accept life is not fair. You do your own work and you work with the team as best as you can because when you get to industry, it's going to be exactly the same dynamics,
Yeah.
and it's better
Absolutely.
when they train, when we train them to think in certain ways like that, and they learn this, when they go to industry, they're far more effective because they just, they know not to sweat the small stuff. It gets ironed out with us. Okay, they don't learn everything with us, but every day is a new lesson. But I just know that, like I said, the PhD students, my number one job is to help them avoid making the same mistakes I did. And a mistake is
Absolutely.
just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So if they can avoid delaying their time, they're basically progressing faster than I did. And that's the key for what we're trying to offer our students here.
Yeah, and I think no matter where you end up or whatever role you end up in, a good chunk of your role will be getting on with other people, working with other people, and it's great that we'll be giving our students the chance to develop those skills, the kind of soft people skills, whatever you want to call them, as well as the really intense academic knowledge and the computer science and the engineering, all that knowledge. At the end of the day, you still have to work with people, and
Yeah.
that's life. That's
Yeah.
the way it goes. Yeah. I don't see any questions there just for the moment, but I always take that as a good sign because you've clearly covered everything
Great.
so well that there's nothing there for the moment. While we're waiting, I'm just conscious of time. I don't want to delay John much longer because it's a very, very busy time of the year for us all. We're back teaching in full swing and that the campus is alive, buzzing with our students again. The International Office scholarships are open, just to let you know about that. If you jump onto our website, you'll see the various details there, the different amounts of the scholarships and awards that are on offer, and you'll also see the link to the application form. You have to obviously have an offer from us and also to have accepted the offer. That means paying the deposit of €1,000. The first deadline is the end of March, so still a few weeks away, and the next one after that, I think, is the end of April. So you still have time, but if you haven't submitted your application, or if your students, you've agents on the call, if your students haven't submitted yet, please do so. John went into great detail there about the process of, the initial assessment by admissions and then the interview with the company and that. So all of that takes time. So please apply as soon as you can. We'll be delighted to receive your applications. And if I'm just checking again if we've no written questions there. Um, but I guess, John, after this, they're more than welcome to contact you or our office, and we can always forward on queries and that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd be delighted to answer any questions. And just to say that in the past, we've also had, so some of the companies listed there do from time to time offer scholarships. So
Yeah.
what I would just say is that even though there is a paid internship, what we can do is probably approach one or two companies coming closer to the time to see if there are other opportunities available. So from some of our own master's students, there have been different initiatives for so essentially if somebody has an extremely good academic record, so if they're top of their class the whole way through, if they've done an excellent project, please let us know. And
Mhm.
then I'll do everything in my power to actually go to companies to look to see if we can secure a scholarship. And that's for the top students because that's who the companies want to hire. So let us know, and I'll quite happily make a representation. Can't guarantee anything, but we'll try.
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
we have had some of those companies who have just offered scholarships in the past for master's graduates. There was also, or for people who are embarking on master's programs, there's also from time to time, because of the gender diversity problem, that there's not as many female engineers in the sector. Companies are aware of this and they do want to encourage more female graduates.
Hmm.
So if there are female applicants, please let us know, and we'll also then try to help to see if we can secure any scholarship opportunities.
That's great. That's brilliant. Well, it certainly is an exciting moment for Maynooth. So we're looking forward to getting students in on this program and then out into the workforce.
Yeah, just to say, because the delay in terms of recruiting, that's because logistically we were trying to get everything ready within the university. So we got all our systems in place. Took a bit longer than I had planned. I just didn't know the amount of checks and balances to get things set up. But I just do know from the academic side of things that the key personnel are now lined up. And that's what I'm really excited about. I know this is going to be an excellent program. So that's why now we are doubling down. Please keep an eye out on the department website. I'm going to be posting a bit more information on LinkedIn. We're going out to some of these companies now to interview current engineers in those companies of all nationalities.
Hmm.
The
Right.
diversity of employees is what they really stressed. They want to have as many people applying from different countries as possible, and they really do value graduates from Ireland, Europe, all across the globe, because that difference of perspective
Yeah.
helps to actually enrich any kind of group project or effort. So, so we'll be posting more and more promotional material on our web pages, and if I do come across any other scholarship opportunities, I'll be posting those there as well.
Brilliant. That's great, John. All right. We don't actually have any questions at the moment. So we will just like to thank you again for your time this morning and to thank everybody who joined us. And as I say, it has been recorded and we will share it with you afterwards. And we will be in touch again very soon. But thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And we will see you all soon. Thanks, William.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.